which lowers the temperature so the bacteria will slow down, plus remove some of the food source by washing out some lactose. And then we will salt the cheese, and the salt again is a way to not only flavor it, give it the flavor, but it helps to control the bacteria.
The curd is piped to the cheese press area, where it will fill one of these forms known in the trade as a 640. Why? Because it will form a 640-pound block of cheese. The hydraulically powered machine is the industry's answer to a cheese press. The cheese press is a simple tool used by cheesemakers for centuries to change the curd and presses out the way. The resulting forms are further pressurized in a vacuum chamber. Over time, the curd portion is fused into what will become recognizable as cheddar cheese. Meanwhile, deep inside the cheese, the starter bacteria continues to break down the milk sugars into a tangy lactic acid, and the proteins form a sharply flavored volatile compound, gradually imparting its favorite food with its signature flavor.
And that's what the process of this controlled spoilage makes cheese is all about. Having those molecules break down into simpler and simpler molecules so the cheese can take life.
With its big cheese has well earned its number 8 spot on our countdown. But for an American favorite that comes in even more flavors and colors, here's number 7. It'll tantalize your taste buds while freezing your brain. It's the flavored frozen drink. This chili concoction, sold at convenience stores across the country, is known by several names, but it's best identified by its signature sound. Slurpee is 7-Eleven's name for this enticing mixture of flavored syrup, water, and CO2 that Americans just can't get enough of. Over 6 billion have been sold since 1966, with sales topping $170 million a year.
Playing my song on the radio.
Amazingly, this wildly successful ice treat was first made by accident during the late 50s in a small Kansas convenience store.
A gentleman by the name of Omar Knedlik had a fountain machine which broke on a hot summer day, and he put some bottles of Coca-Cola in a freezer.
What came out of that freezer was a slushy carbonated drink that his customers loved, and still love today. It's pretty much the same Slurpee, but the high-tech machines that pump them out have ushered in a new era of America's favorite icy treat, and number 7 on our countdown.
The big innovation came when the machine was able to combine water with a special syrup that allowed the CO2 to absorb it, and that gives that creamy consistency, fluffy consistency.
At FTD, frozen beverage dispensers in San Antonio, Texas, they've got Slurpee making down to a science.
The evolution of electronics, technology has allowed us to develop it's basically a chemical plant in a box.
Okay.
Into the dispenser, where they're blended together. Then the mixture is fed into one of several 8-inch housed within the machine's cold chamber. The icy mixture pours from the dispenser at temperatures between 24 and 28 degrees, with the sugar and the syrup acting as an anti-freezing agent.
Back to the
An
phone.
electronic circuit board controls the dispenser's operation.
We have sensors throughout this machine that are monitoring various elements of flow, heat transfer, and those sensors that are feeding information to a very sophisticated computer program.
The computer monitors the mixture inside the barrels for its ice content, while a rotating dasher stirs the product to keep it mixed.
Today, our equipment is in just about every 7-Eleven store in the United States. Frozen drinks, Slurpee drinks are fun, and that's what gets people coming back.
With the zestiness of cheese at number 8, and the slushy allure of frozen drinks at number 7, America's love of flavor has pushed us along on our countdown of favorite foods. We're that much closer to number 1. But first, our number 6 favorite food owes its invention to an irate chef's meltdown in the kitchen. Chew on that clue for a while. Every Sunday on Story Television, personalities so big they broke through ground, soared to new heights, and reshaped the world around them.
We finished the file.
biography every Sunday on Story Television. Attention military personnel, families, and civilians who were stationed or worked at Camp Lejeune from 1953 to 1987. If you or a loved one lived, served, or worked at Camp Lejeune, call the Victims Justice Group now. You may be entitled to significant compensation. The U.S. Senate recently passed a bill that will allow servicemen and women, their family members, and civilian workers who lived or worked on the base at Camp Lejeune for at least 30 days to seek justice for injuries caused by toxic water. If you or a loved one suffered an injury associated with the toxic water found at Camp Lejeune, including bladder, kidney, or liver cancer, multiple myeloma, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, Parkinson's disease, adult leukemia, or aplastic anemia, call the Victims Justice Group. Our attorneys will fight to get you the compensation you deserve for your pain and suffering. Military personnel, civilian workers served, lived, or worked at Camp Lejeune from August 1953 to December 1987 may be eligible for compensation. Don't wait. Call our helpline now. Attention, Medicare recipients. The Antigen 1 portable oxygen concentrator.
Lucky, wealthy people who could have eggs and bacon freshly brought into their estates and homes.
But when the refrigerator became a household item in the 1930s, bacon turned into a treat every American could enjoy. It also got a little help from PR guru Edward Bernays.
He's called the founder of modern PR operations. He worked for the bacon industry. He sent out an interesting questionnaire to over 5,000 doctors across America.
Bernays asked the doctors if a hearty breakfast was healthy. Most agreed. And Bernays linked their recommendation with publicity, touting bacon as part of that hearty meal. It wasn't long before bacon was a breakfast staple. Today, industrial bacon have their hands full keeping pace with our insatiable demand.
Pork bellies are received in the facility on refrigerated semi-trailers. This facility will run about 600,000 pounds in a day's time.
First, the pork bellies are staged to move the skin before they're injected with curing agents.
It goes through a heavy roller which only flattens the belly out so we can allow for proper skin. This is where the curing ingredients are injected into the pork belly.
168 people subject a solution of water, salt, sugar, and other preservatives into the belly. Next, the pork bellies enter a thermal processing unit, where they're heated at 135 degrees Fahrenheit. Workers introduce the aroma of smoldering wood chips to add a smoky flavor. Once they cool for 36 to 72 hours, they're ready for slicing. It isn't until here that the meat resembles what we can't get enough of.
As the belly works its way to the slicer, it drops the slicing blade, which is traveling at 1,500 revolutions per minute.
The finished product
Sound
is
like
popular as ever on the morning table. Coming in at number 5 on our favorite food countdown. But this crispy delicacy isn't just for breakfast anymore. At Marie's Candy Store in Santa Cruz, California, the Marie brothers indulge their customers by dipping bacon in a rich milk chocolate.
We've tried dipping just about anything, from insects to dried fruits to, we'll put anything in chocolate and give it a taste.
What's this chocolate bacon like? Can I try some of that?
Each day, the Marinis cook up to 40 pounds of premium center-cut hickory smoked bacon, 2 pounds at a time. It's cooked in an oven for 35 minutes. This slow process ensures the bacon will lose most of its grease and gristle. It's the Marini brothers' way of making it as crunchy and flavorful as possible. In a temperature-controlled room, the bacon cools. Then the chocolate coating makes it a doubly guilty pleasure. On our Mega Marbles countdown, we've gone from the irresistibly crunchy potato chip at number 6 to the even crispier veal and bacon at number 5. We're that much closer to serving up our number 1 favorite food. Think you know what it is? Here's a clue. We eat it 3 times a week. Every Monday on Story Television, walk on the front lines of history, where stories begin with conquest, sacrifice, underdogs, and brilliant leaders. In battle, the same that matters is what you're going to do at that moment. War can make or break a society, and we will always remember their story. Military and Combat, every Monday on Story Television.
At Rubaba, without paying for life. These the deals on top of it before they're gone. It's the never live out. Shop Rubaba.com.
Very good.
Hey everyone, Evelyn Garcia here, and I'm so excited to tell you about my French door air fryer 360. Everywhere you go. And we have a full line of portable oxygen units to fit a wide range of budgets. If you're on Medicare, you may even qualify
go
to
to
get a
Nashville,
little or
sing.
no cost to you. Go back to joining friends for the breakfast
This is
special,
pop
spending time with
music.
the grandkids easier, or start attending your religious services again. Call Energy now for a free information kit and a free no-obligation consultation on our complete line of affordable portable oxygen products. Hey, one on Medicare or with eligible insurance plans, they qualify to get an Energen 1 at little or no cost. Call 800-593-0491. That's 800-593-0491.
Hi, it's me again. Listen to this. Medicare Part C plans with extra benefits like getting money added back to your Social Security check every month may now be available to you in your extra benefits like prescriptions, dental coverage, and the benefit that adds money back to your Social Security check every single month. Call now.
I called to get everything I deserve.
I called to check my zip code for a plan with the benefit that adds money back to my Social Security check.
I called to check my zip code.
Check your zip code. It could be dynamite. Call now.
Call 1-800-284-4049. That's 1-800-284-4049 now.
Come on.
Me gustaría pedir algo de comer. Ah, ok, por supuesto que no.
How do you learn Spanish?
I learned with Babbel.
So, Bubble, it's kinda like if my teacher is in your phone?
Kind of. And the best part is help me make new friends. Like you.
Language for life. Go to Babbel.com and try it for free. Every moment tells a story.
A young black preacher talked about a dream.
Moments that illuminate the story of how far we've
Fight.
come and how far we can still go.
Come on and fight.
This is story television.
Come on,
We're
go
counting our way
get
down a
them.
tantalizing
Go,
buffet of America's favorite
go
foods.
get them.
All the way to number 1. At number 8 was cheese, universally adored all over the world. While number 7 was the frozen carbonated drink we love to slurp. For number 6, we're adding Mega Crunch to our countdown. It's the iconic snack you can never eat just one of. Potato chips. Surprisingly, the invention of the potato chip was the result of what can only be called restaurant rage. Credit a quick-tempered New York chef named George Crumb. In 1853, he was insulted when a patron returned some French fries because they were too thick. In response, Crumb cut the potatoes thin as paper, fried them to a crisp, and sent them back to the table. Crumb's crispy tirade became our number 6.
They created a brand new product. There was no R&D involved with it. It was totally impulsive. The ingredients involved with this was anger and maybe a little bit of exacting of revenge.
Since you've got to have potatoes to have potato chips, you'd think we'd ship the story from New York to Idaho. But guess again. We're off to southeastern Pennsylvania, a region nicknamed the Potato Chip Belt. Here in the early 20s, pioneers in the industry took out their fryers. Among the early Pennsylvania chip makers,
I love it! Wow, I want to finish. I just finished. Wow.
keep an eye on Big Masa as a machine feeds it into a device resembling a cookie cutter. This molds and cuts the masa into the desired chip shape. The masa then travels through an enormous 175-degree